Hi guys, how's it going? How are all my art addicts out there? Hope you're having creative days. I get the most questions about my resin work, so I'm going to be doing a couple of tutorials today. This first one is going to be on resin with alcohol ink, except for this one piece here. This is going to be a surprise project down the road. I don't want that all the way full. I want it only about halfway full. So I'll get a little bit of that out because we're going to be adding to this. But this is going to be in a slightly later video. So I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it out of the way and worry about that another time. So now I have a variety of molds. I have three Druzy quartz molds that I got from Rebecca Becky. She has some beautiful Druzy quartz molds, and in every shape and size you could possibly think of. So these are all silicone molds. Now this is a silicone mold I got from Wish, and it's of a little sea turtle. All right, and these are some hexagon silicone molds. I either got these at Wish or Amazon. I think I've gotten it at both of them. So these are the molds we're going to be working with for the moment. So what I'm going to start off with is my smaller projects. And I'm going to come in here with my little spatula and kind of run around the edge of this Druzy quartz and start pushing some of the resin in. Now, two of the things that are most important to remember when working with resin: number one, be exact in your mounts. You have to have, for most resins, you have to have exact equal amounts of the resin and the hardener. If you have too much or too little of either one of those, your resin is not going to set. All right, now I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space at the very top of these because I'm going to be adding alcohol inks, and that will take up a little space. And we're going to come in here and get this little quartz part of it covered up. And keep bringing this up a little bit more. All right, that's about enough for that. And we're just going to do this with all of our smaller molds first. And get all the little nooks and crannies in there done so you don't have any air bubbles. And you'll still have a few air bubbles, but you can pop those at the end. And even with my glasses, I did not see quite how full that got. All right, and we're going to come back in here and do the same thing with here, but because this is not a Druzy mold, you really don't have to come in and make sure that all the little mold areas are full. So we're going to come in here and get enough resin to get some of his body together. And then I'm going to come back over here and we're going to fill our two hexagon molds. And I like to leave them a little space at the top. A, because you're going to be adding your alcohol inks, and B is that when they come out of the mold, they'll have this little divot. And, oh, I forgot about this piece. And so it's good to sand that piece down. And then you can turn around and put a little bit more resin in it to top it off and make it look really professional. So, and this is a project I've been working on, layering my colors. So I'll come back in here with this last little bit of resin because I hate to waste a drop of resin, considering how expensive it is. If I can use every drop of it, I will. So I'm going to come in here and just get this up over all the sides, which is fine. Just kind of get this pushed over. And this is a project that I started on earlier. I did not realize when I first got the mold that these are ashtray holders, or ashtrays molds. And since we don't smoke, I've made a couple to use as little change things, you know, where you can put your change and so forth. Now, you can use a combination, any combination of Ranger inks and Pinata inks, any number of either one of these inks, but now here's the kicker. This is the magic ink. All right, for every layer of a color you put down, you put one drop of this on top of that drop of color. And that helps you to layer your colors and keep them separated so they don't run together and get muddy. So that's a very important tip. And for any newbie out there, you don't realize how big of a issue that will be until you try to just get all of your colors together and not use the white between the layers, and then end up with something that looks like it came out of the swamp. So I'm going to start by just doing 3 drops of the middle. And this is Ranger Wild Plum. It's actually a color I favor quite a bit. And we're going to come in here with our white, do our 3 drops of white. Yep. And then I'm going to come in here, this is another Ranger. These two actually go together as part of a set, a part of a 3-bottle set or 3-color set. So I'm going to come in here and get 2 drops on either side of my stream. That's the name of this particular color. And then we're going to come back in here and just keep going with these colors. We're going to keep layering the colors and moving them around a little bit, and going back over one color with a different color, but we're going to stay within these same 2 colors. All right, and I'm going to put some right in the center. I'm going to put some up here and some down here. And then again, follow in with your white, 1 drop for each one that you do. And then I'm just eyeballing this. I like to put enough in here so that it's got color. And then if you find that there's still a little bit of room at the top, you can always go in there and top it off with just a touch of resin. I don't know if I have enough to touch this one up, but I'm sure I could squeeze a drop or 2 out. And I'm going to come back in here with the green right up here and right down here. And as you keep layering this and building your colors up, what's going to happen is the pigment will start to sink down in the resin and create these sort of stalactite type of looking sort of runners of color. So, and once you think you've got as much color in there as you want, and I do have plenty of resin to do this, I'm just going to put a little bit more clear resin on top so I can kind of fill this up a little bit more. Just, again, just dab it up with whatever I have left over. And this backside, by putting the clear resin on, will actually create a kind of clear look, a cool look actually I should say, when this is finished, because the clear resin is sitting on top of all the color, so it'll give it sort of a slightly 3D looking effect over and above the 3D effect you're going to get from the layering. And I'm just going to come in here. I don't have a lot of resin in here. This is a work in progress where I'm going to be doing it in stages and just adding a little bit of color here and a little bit of color there. I already have one open. Why am I being silly? over here, and over here. And let's see, amethyst. Amethyst is a pretty color. I'm going to do one amethyst in the center straight away of each one of these guys. And then come back in here with my white. And which Baja Sailboat. I think I'll go in here with Sailboat Blue. And I'm going to go between the yellow and the purple. Put an extra blue drop in there. I wasn't planning to, but that's okay. You don't want everything to look too matchy-matchy. You want it to have some random qualities about it. And then I'm going to come in here with my Calbanza orange. There we go. And I'm just going to put one drop here, one there. That's it. And next, once this dries and hardens, next time I do a resin project, I will add another layer of resin and the last of the color. But by doing it this way, I've been building up my color so that the color has more depth of layers. Okay, now this guy's done, so I'm going to put him off to one side for a minute. And since we did Stream and Wild Plum in the last one, I think I'm going to do Amethyst again and Baja Blue maybe. So I'm going to come in here with Baja Blue, one in each end. And then we're going to come in here with the amethyst. I don't know why, but I think blue and purple are just such nice colors together. They just seem to complement each other so well, so very well. And now I'll come back in the center with the Baja Blue. And just keep working to get my colors layered and get everything colored and layered and as much pigment in there as I can without it seizing up. You don't want to do too much pigment, but you want it heavily pigmented so that there's enough pigment to sink down to the bottom and create that really cool effect that I like so much. So I'm going to come up here with this and just keep going in here and playing back and forth. But, oh well, accidents happen. No big deal. All right, so I think I'm going to call it a day on that one. And then I'm going to give all of these guys one more torch as I get going here. Or I should say as I keep going here. So, put this guy one side. And I think we'll bring our turtle down. I think our turtle should be an interesting kind of guy. I don't want rainforest. Mermaid. Turquoise. I'm looking for a nice green. Here, no, that's stream. Well, I guess it might end up being rainforest green. I was looking for my lime color. Oh, here, that's citrus. Well, All right, so maybe we'll work with these guys in a little yellow or a little bronze or something. All right, so I'm gonna start off by putting some Baja Blue on our turtle's flippers. And then we're going to come in here with a little bit of Pinata Rainforest Green for the body. And maybe we'll put a third drop in there too. And come in here with maybe a little bit of this citrus green and introduce that into the mix. And come back in here with our white. Now, I think I want to put a little bit of Sunshine Bright Yellow. This is called Sun Bright Yellow. Our turtle wants to be a happy turtle. He wants to be sunny and fun. So we're going to give him some of those qualities. And let's see what else we can do with him. I might come back in here now with this sailboat blue. And I know I'm going to have to probably scrape a little bit of this off later, but that's okay. Sand down a little bit because some of this color will sink. It won't all just stay right here. And, whoops. What are we going to do for his tail? Flamingo. Why don't we give him a flamingo tail? Well, they went up above his tail, but that's okay. Now, I don't know if you can see this. It is so cool, the reaction that happens as everything sinks down. You can actually see it changing the pattern. And I know you can't see this, I'm sorry. Maybe one of these days I'll do a live video where I can show in better depth, I should say, what it's like. As you're watching the alcohol ink sink down and the white go below the colors, it's almost like watching a science experiment. Let's see. Why don't we put some magenta in here? Magenta would be a pretty color because when you mix magenta and blues, you might get a little bit of purple out of that. So. I'll come in here with some more of the Baja. And go back with magenta. Oops, you don't want it up there on the mold. There we go. Clean that up a little bit. And then come back in here with our white. Come back in here with the blue. Magenta. In here with the white, which is what makes the whole world go round. And I might put just a touch more blue in there, but I think that's pretty good. I might put one more drop of blue right in the center. All right, so this piece is done. I'll try to show this to you now. See how the white is sinking down? Oops. That was all ink. All right. Let's put a few drops in there. That's more than enough. All right, now to get on to my two resin coasters. And these are what everybody seems to be utterly fascinated with. You can get these in square, round, hexagon, octagon, whatever. Just all you need are silicone molds. All right, and so we're gonna come back in here. I think I'm gonna do a couple of favorite colors here. I've got Hacienda, I've got Purple Passion, and I've got Yellow. So I think that's what we're gonna use for the first three, and see what we get out of this. So I'm gonna come in and just do one in the middle of each side. And we're gonna start building this up. And then you come around again with your white. This is a tedious process, all right, and it takes a while to build all these colors up, but if you take the time to do it, you won't be disappointed with the results. These come out just absolutely gorgeous. So take a little bit of time and creativity with it, and just keep going back in and adding your colors, adding your white between each layer. And if you see that it's still too dark, you can still add a little bit more white. Now I'm going to come in the center and work my way out with some yellow. Well, that's kind of coming out a little bit quicker than I wanted it to. But that's okay. We'll just put a little more white in there. There we go. And I see an air bubble down there, if I can get it out. All right, we're gonna come back in here with some blue. Pretty dark. Throw a little bit more on there. And then we're going to come back in here with our purple. Yep. Oh no, I'm out of that white. Okay. Luckily, I always have backup. And I think I'm going to have to heat this up because it's starting to set up on me. But that's probably because I have an overhead fan on and I didn't think to shut it off before I started doing this. So that's my fault. So come back in here with the blue. White, yellow. little bit of color here, a little bit of color here. I'm going to call this one done, I think. He's not completely full, but he's got enough color in him to start sinking and still show me a little bit of clear. All right, so cover these guys up. And I know I'm running out of time, so I'm going to hustle and just choose a couple of colors. And where's the butterscotch? No. Oh, come on. Here's the butterscotch. All right, so I'm going to work with these three colors. So I'm going to start working with, and I'm going to heat my resin up one more time, because I don't want it getting too cool too quick, which is what's happening, which is annoying, but it's my own fault. So if I want to do a blonde move, I gotta pay the consequences, right? Yak silly, gonna get silly. All right, so let's really try to rush through this one, because I can already tell by the resin and the color in it that it's not moving very much. So I'm gonna hurry this process along. Okay. All right, butterscotch was the third color that came in with this color packet. So we're gonna go in here and do some butterscotch. And come back in here with, oops. And this is pretty much, the color is pretty much sitting on the top of this coaster. It's not moving very well, which means that the overhead fan being on is really affecting this a lot. Although this might actually come out looking kind of cool anyway. Because I'm liking, from here at least, the way the color is sitting on top. So let's see if it continues to look this cool in a little while or not. All right, I think that's about as far as I can get with this one. So I think that my paint is just, my resin is just starting to set up too much. And note to self, next time I do resin work in here, turn off the ceiling fan. Although it's pretty warm here today. So I put the fan on, not even thinking. Whoops. Yeah, that goes in there. I just wanted to cool off. All right. Now, put all of our colors away. And when we come back a little bit later, I'll show you what we're going to do with that first one we poured, okay? Talk to you later. Bye.